what the client has asked them to do. Even if I know clients like, hey, I'll shoot your house if I see something I like, every now and then something will pop up and I'm like, I think they might like this, and I shoot it off. So an agent really is constantly aware of what their client needs or should be.
Absolutely. And I think in this market, with it being this busy, it's nonstop. And so there's obviously going to be a little leeway, but the agents, have a little bit more access to what's brand new on the market than
Mm-hmm.
the client does. By the time that house reaches your standard, websites, it might have already been on the market for a day or 2 days.
It's
Um,
possible, yes.
yeah. And in that time, based on geography and the speed the market is moving, like last summer, that house could be under contract. And then
It
there you
could.
are, you're like, I want to go see that, but you can't because they already accepted an offer. And
Right.
so if you're working with a good agent, they'll be like, oh, hey, this is brand new. It just came on the market. You know, if you could just give me a quick yes or no, because the market is moving that crazy.
Right. Yeah. Can you get in today? Because if not, you won't have a chance.
Yeah,
And
they're
an agent should understand those things about their market. This particular
absolutely.
condition at this price in this area, you don't have time to wait, or you do have time to wait. Um,
Exactly. Last summer was
so
kind of that free for all of you don't have time to wait, you know?
yes, yes, there are still times there's not time to wait.
Oh, and I
Um,
think it's going to continue. Everything that I've been looking at and reading, the biggest problem that we currently have is we don't have enough inventory. So let's talk
that
about
is
a good
correct.
seller's agent. If someone's
Okay.
thinking, it's time for me to right size my life, whether I'm going upsized or downsized, I'm just going to call it right sized. It's time for me to right
Absolutely.
size my life. What attributes in an agent should I look for? Because once that for sale sign hits the front yard or the listing hits the World Wide Web, um, what should I be looking for in terms of a good selling or listing agent?
You're going to look for similar attributes that you're looking for in a buyer's agent. Are they on top of the market? Are they responsive? Are they looking out for your best interests? And that sometimes is being honest and realistic about price and condition of your home. A lot of times, sellers get attached to their homes. They think it's worth X when it might really be worth Y. They might not see some of the maintenance issues or upkeep issues because they've been living with it for so long. So a good agent is going to come in and point out those aspects. Hey, before we get this on the market, I think we should do X, Y, and Z. I think we're going to do a price point right here. Let's say $200,000, and they're like, no, 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 this is worth 250. An agent's going to say, well, this is why we're going to do what we're going to do. An agent should be able to explain pricing strategy because there is a strategy. There's a reason why you're going to list a house at 250 versus 200 if value supports that. If an agent's overlisting a house, they're really not doing you or themselves a favor. I talk about when I go on appointments, I want to sell your house. I don't want to just list your house. I don't want just my sign in your front yard. My job is to sell this house. So a good question to ask a listing agent if you're thinking about selling, what's your plan to sell my house? What are you going to do? Are you going to put a sign in my yard? Are you going to put my house in the MLS? Are you going to do any additional marketing? Because any agent can put a sign in your house in the MLS. And a lot of times that's enough because if it's the right house in the right location at the right price, people are going to be clamoring over it like we saw this summer, even sometimes in the fall or early spring. If it's the right house, a lot of times there's not a whole lot more that needs to be done because it's what people are looking for. But additional marketing, additional strategies, additional plans. When are we going to have an open house? Are we going to have an open house? Is it a good idea to have an open house? A plan for how to get your house to the public is a great question to ask.
Absolutely. And then, as I found out the hard way, another great question to ask your selling agent is how long do you anticipate my house will be on the market?
Absolutely. And that should be part of pricing strategy as well.
Because what
An
I
agent
thought
is going to
was
look
going to
at,
take 90 days took 8 days.
you're thinking in the reverse. Hey, this could take forever. Oh, this did not take forever. This was a little faster than I thought.
And I was not ready. I had not started to pack, and I did not have, the house picked out that I was going to because I just assumed that it was going
It
to
was
take
going to take some
longer.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Well, and then hopefully your agent then is prepared. Okay, this happened a lot quicker. So we have an offer. How do we negotiate that offer to best help you get to your next place
Um,
so that you're not left on the streets?
yes, yes, we did, and um, I have to admit that we we went on we went on these house hunting, you know, tours after that. It was like, just give me any time when you have an hour and I'll show you two or three houses in that hour. And we did that.
Right.
And the market was so fast that I would look at a house and I would write an offer, but before it got turned in, there would be another accepted offer on it. So I ended up, you know, I was like, really? Oh my gosh.
Yes. It can happen very quickly. It can. And that's something I really think about. This is more on the buyer side. What kind of decision makers am I working with? Do I have people who can make quick decisions? Do I have people who need a couple days to think about? So, I mean, this is a large decision. You don't necessarily want to be like, yes, I need this house. So really knowing and learning your clients' decision making skills and some of their personality quirks is super important. Um, I've had clients. It's like, you know what? We're not going to look at brand new houses on the market because they're going to come up and they're going to come down, and you're not going to even have time to make a decision. Let's look at houses that have been sitting on the market a little bit longer so that you don't feel rushed to make a decision all the time.
Now that's your teacher's background working for you there. Because
It
you
could
know
be.
how
It
to
could
take
be.
individual people and work with them to best suit their individual needs and
Yes.
and help them through a process that could potentially be difficult and frustrating. And there you are, you're paving the way, making it easier for them based on their individual needs, and you are meeting them. That is
Right.
absolutely awesome.
Because
Um,
it's not a one size fit all.
no, it
Everyone has
never.
different needs. Every person is different. So, you know, really my job is to make it stress less. I can't say it's a stress free process because there are certain things that I can't control, certain things clients can't control. But my job is to lower that stress, you know, explain the process. This is what's going to happen. These are expectations. Because of X, Y, and Z, we're going to do A, B, C, and working to make sure that it's a smooth process. It's a fun process because no one wants to be buying a house and crying at the end. So,
No, not really. That kind of defeats the purpose. You really,
yeah,
truly, when you get the keys to that house at closing, you really want to feel like, great. You want to feel good about it. Um, and if
you
you're
want to be
like
doing your
me,
happy dance.
exactly. And if you're like me, you already have 4 gallons of brand new paint in the car and you're ready to go make it look just like the way you want it to look.
Yes, yes. And it's okay to buy paint before you buy, but don't go buying cars or switching jobs. That's never a good idea.
No, those 4 gallons of paint were pretty inexpensive, but that's one of the things when I'm coaching people is make sure that they don't do anything to, you know, mess up their deal. Once you've gotten pre-approved and got your credit score where it needs to be, there are certain things you just should not be doing until
Absolutely.
absolutely you have finished your entire home buying process. And one of those things is don't buy anything. And I mean anything. no big screen
Yes.
TVs, no furniture on time, no cars, nothing.
Nope.
Don't do
Nope.
anything
Save
that
those
will
till the papers are signed.
negatively affect your credit score. And
Absolutely.
and I had one client that didn't realize, and well, they were newlyweds, and people had given them money for their wedding, and they
Yeah.
deposited in their bank account, and it held up their closing because they couldn't trace each and every individual deposit. It was
Oh boy, yes.
crazy. And if I had only realized that, I would have said just hold those gifts until after the closing and then deposit them because they weren't using the money for the closing. It was just, it
Sure.
was just a regulatory thing. So you have to be really careful. All right, in the
Yes.
last minute we have left, tell people how they can get a hold of you if they have more questions or they're like, I love her, I want to work with her.
That would be fantastic.
It
You
would.
can get a hold of me in a couple different ways. My phone number is 419-367-0899. Call or text anytime. I will get back to you if I am in the middle of something, but I always get back to people. I have an email address, KEY, the number 2, FEELINGHOME. So that's key to feeling home at gmail.com. My website is the same, keytofeelinghome.com, where you can search and browse for listings in the area that I work, which is Northwest Ohio. And you can find me on Facebook as well. Just type in Amanda Latscha, Key Realty. My last name is Latscha. It looks like Latscha, and everybody is surprised when I say it's pronounced Latscha. They're like, it is? Say yes, it is. So you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Zillow. You can find me on Realtor. Google my name, and I'm out there.
Awesome. Well, Amanda, it has been a pleasure to have you here and to have people really realize what the difference is between getting a good realtor and not getting a good realtor. So we are very glad that you took some time to be with us today. And
Well,
as
thank you for asking me to be and to share and to help those who need it.
I'm so glad. And as I always say, everyone, don't forget, be grateful, and you will attract good things. And until next time, this is Rhonda Cobb, the Money Coach.